A few days ago, someone asked me, "Sir, how do I become a high-value person in 2026? I smiled and said, first understand this. Value doesn't come from the year, it comes from we owe you. In today's world, people are chasing upgrades, new phones, new apps, new trends. But the biggest upgrade we often ignore is upgrading ourselves. Let me share with you a small story. A young person once asked, "How do I become a high-value person in the coming years?" I smiled, because the question itself was already halfway to the answer. You see, people often think value comes from what you own, how you look, or how many people admire you. But real value has never been about display. It has always been about depth. We live in a world where everything is fast. Fast food, fast internet, fast opinions, fast relationships. But character does not grow fast. Character grows quietly, patiently, consistently. A high-value person is not built in public view. They are built in private moments when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when no one is liking or sharing. There is a simple truth many people forget: when life puts pressure on you, it reveals who you are. Some people become bitter, some become arrogant, some give up, and then there are a few who become better. They don't complain about the heat, they become stronger in it. They don't ask, "Why me?" They ask, "What is this teaching me?" High-value people are not perfect people. They get angry, they feel hurt, they fail. The difference is they take responsibility. Instead of saying, "You made me angry," they say, "I need to work on my reactions." Instead of saying, "Life is unfair," they say, "What can I do better with what I have?" This shift changes everything. Another beautiful quality of a high-value person is their ability to give without keeping score. They help not because it will benefit them, but because it is the right thing to do. In a world where everyone asks, "What will I get?" they quietly ask, "How can I help?" And the irony is, life eventually gives them more than they ever asked for. They also understand that silence is not weakness and patience is not loss. Not every argument deserves your energy. Not every opinion deserves your response. Sometimes growth means walking away with dignity instead of winning with noise. A high-value person invests daily in the invisible. They invest in learning, in discipline, in health, in spirituality, in self-reflection. They understand that outer success without inner stability is the fastest way to collapse. So they build strong roots before expecting sweet fruits. And finally, they live with purpose. Not to impress the world, but to improve it, even if only in small ways. A kind word, an honest effort, a calm response. These may look ordinary, but over time, they create an extraordinary life. So if you truly want to become a high-value person, don't ask how to look valuable. Ask how to live valuable. Because when your values are right, your value becomes undeniable. Someone once said, "I want to be successful, respected, and valued." I replied gently, "Then first decide what kind of person you want to become, not what kind of position you want to reach. Because positions can be taken away, money can be lost, and fame can fade. But the person you become stays with you forever." In life, many people spend years building an image, but very few spend time building character. The world may applaud your image, but life tests your character. When situations become difficult, when people misunderstand you, when plans don't work out, that is when your real value shows, not in what you say, but in how you respond. A high-value person understands one simple thing: life does not need to be perfect to be meaningful. Instead of waiting for ideal conditions, they learn to grow in imperfect ones. They don't waste energy complaining about what they don't have. They focus on using what they already have in the best possible way. There is a quiet strength in such people. They don't rush to prove themselves. They don't feel insecure when someone else shines. They clap for others genuinely because they know that someone else's success does not reduce their own worth. Confidence, after all, is silent. Insecurity is loud. Another important quality is self-discipline. Not the kind that makes you harsh, but the kind that makes you dependable. Doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Waking up when it's difficult. Staying calm when it's tempting to react. Choosing growth when comfort feels easier. These small daily choices quietly shape a powerful future. High-value people also understand emotions deeply. They don't suppress them, but they don't let emotions control them either. They pause before reacting. They listen more than they speak. They realize that anger often hides pain, and patience often brings clarity. Because of this, people feel safe around them, trusted, respected. One more beautiful trait is gratitude. They don't wait for everything to be perfect before being thankful. They appreciate small blessings, simple moments, ordinary days. Gratitude keeps their heart light and their mind peaceful. And when the heart is peaceful, decisions become wiser. They also know when to let go. Not every relationship needs to be held tightly. Not every door is meant to stay open. Letting go is not failure. Sometimes it is self-respect. Walking away from what drains you makes space for what nourishes you. At the end of the day, a high-value person is not remembered for how impressive they looked, but for how grounded they were, how kind they were, how consistent they were, how they made others feel. So don't chase attention. Chase alignment. Align your actions with your values, your words with your intentions, and your life with your purpose. When that happens, value naturally follows, and it stays. A man once came and said, "I am doing everything right, yet life is not going the way I planned." I listened and replied, "Sometimes life doesn't go according to our plans because it is trying to take us somewhere better." Many people think value comes from control, controlling outcomes, people, situations. But real value comes from inner stability, not outer control. In today's world, people are exhausted not because they are doing too much, but because they are carrying too many unnecessary expectations. Expectations from others, expectations from society, expectations to constantly prove something. A high-value person slowly learns an important lesson. Not every expectation deserves to be fulfilled. Some expectations need to be released. Such people understand that peace is not found by changing everyone around you. It is found by understanding yourself. When you know who you are and what truly matters to you, the noise around you loses its power. Criticism becomes feedback, not an attack. Praise becomes appreciation, not addiction. There is a story of a man who kept checking the mirror while walking. Eventually, he tripped. Another man kept watching the road and reached his destination peacefully. In the same way, those who constantly look at how others see them often stumble. Those who focus on where they are going move forward with confidence. High-value people look ahead, not sideways. They also respect time deeply. Not just their own time, but others' time as well. They show up when they say they will. They keep their word even when it becomes inconvenient. In a world full of promises, consistency becomes rare and therefore valuable. One thing that makes such people stand out is their simplicity. They don't complicate life with unnecessary drama. They don't carry yesterday's anger into today's conversation. They understand that holding on to resentment is like carrying a heavy bag and wondering why the journey feels difficult. They invest in learning, but more importantly, they invest in unlearning ego, unlearning fear, unlearning the habit of comparing. Comparison steals joy, but awareness restores it. When you grow at your own pace, life feels lighter. High-value people are also deeply aware that success without values is dangerous. It may look attractive from the outside, but it feels empty from within. So they choose integrity even when shortcuts are available. They choose honesty even when lies seem easier. These choices may not give instant rewards, but they build something far more powerful: self-respect. They understand that life is not about becoming better than others. It is about becoming better than who you were yesterday. Even a 1% improvement practiced daily can transform an entire life over time. So if life feels confusing, slow down. If you feel pressured, step back. Focus on growth, not approval. Focus on contribution, not competition. When your inner world is calm and your intentions are clear, your life naturally begins to reflect value. And when that happens, you don't need to announce it, people feel it. A student once asked, "How do I know if I am moving in the right direction in life?" I replied, "When your life feels peaceful, even while it is challenging, you are probably walking the right path." Many people believe that a high-value life is one where everything is going smoothly. But real value is revealed not when life is easy, but when life is demanding. A high-value person does not escape difficulties, they grow through them. They understand that pressure does not come to break them. It comes to shape them. Just as a river becomes cleaner as it flows over stones, a person becomes wiser when they move through challenges with awareness instead of resistance. One important quality such people develop is self-respect. Not arrogance, not ego, but quiet dignity. They don't need to announce their boundaries, they live them. They don't beg for attention, they earn respect through consistency. When you respect yourself, others naturally follow. They also understand that success without balance is just another form of failure. So they take care of their health, their mind, their relationships, and their inner life. They don't sacrifice everything for achievement and then wonder why they feel empty. They know that a meaningful life is built on harmony, not hustle alone. There is also a deep sense of responsibility in them. They don't blame parents, partners, or past mistakes for their present condition. They say, "This is where I am, and this is what I will do from here." Responsibility gives them power, blame takes it away. High-value people choose their words carefully. They speak less, but their words carry weight. They listen fully instead of preparing replies. In conversations, they aim to understand, not to dominate. That is why people feel heard and respected around them. They are also patient with results. They understand that seeds don't grow overnight, so they keep watering even when there is no visible progress. They trust the process because they trust their effort. Impatience often comes from doubt, but faith brings calm persistence. One beautiful habit they develop is reflection. At the end of the day, instead of scrolling endlessly, they ask themselves simple questions. Did I act with integrity today? Did I hurt anyone unnecessarily? Did I learn something new? These small reflections prevent big regrets. They also accept that life has seasons. Some seasons are for growth, some for rest, some for letting go. They don't force a season to last forever. They move forward with grace, adjusting without losing direction. In the end, becoming a high-value person is not about being superior, it is about being sincere. Sincere in effort, sincere in relationships, sincere in growth. When your life is guided by sincerity, clarity follows. And when clarity follows, value becomes natural. You don't chase it, you become it. My dear friends, 2026 will not demand perfection from you. It will simply demand presence, presence of values, presence of kindness, presence of authenticity. So, if you truly want to become a high-value person this year, then remember, don't decorate your life, elevate it. Don't chase trends, chase truth. Don't try to impress, try to impact. And before you sleep today, ask yourself a simple question. Did I become a little better than I was yesterday? If the answer is yes, you are already on the path of a truly high-value life. Thank you so much. Stay blessed. Stay joyful.